13 June 2020, and I'm joined by Mr. Matapo from the Zimbabwe People Power Movement. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Thank you very much. How about you? How is South Africa?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you.
Right, today we want to talk about the topical issue of the National Transitional Authority.
Yes.
You have seen the communication from the churches that say that elections must not happen in 2023, but they should happen in 2028. So they're proposing a Sabbath. What is your view to this proposal?
Talking about establishment of a national transitional authority, it's like jumping. You talk about crossing a river before, or jumping a bridge before you even get to it. I mean to say, first of all, people must ask themselves one question: why is ZANU-PF always rigging elections? Elections are being done. The most democratic way of changing systems are the election way. Are we not having elections in Zimbabwe? We are having elections. And why is ZANU-PF not being removed through elections? It is because they are rigging those elections. So why are they rigging? That is the biggest question that people must ask. So first of all, I thought that people would come up with discussions, national discussions, centered on why ZANU-PF is refusing to relinquish power, and yet the economy is dead. Our country is getting to a cliff. We are going absolutely nowhere. ZANU-PF is busy lying, put in place lies and the like. So these guys were discussing this Sabbath. Suppose we have this 7-year Sabbath. Biggest questions: who will be in charge? Because still the economy will be moving. The economy will not wait. The economy will not give us Sabbath. People still want to feed. People still want to survive. People want to be doing what they are doing. So during these 7 years of Sabbath or sabbatical leave, what will be happening? Will you also give a lockdown to the economy? It's not practical. I wish if people could hear this loud and clear. This is the reason why we came up with the Zimbabwe People Power Movement. We came up with the Zimbabwe People Power Movement as a platform for everybody to come, and so that we can then face these people. We find peaceful means, legal means of removing these people using Zimbabwe People Power Movement. And then in the process, we can then form National Transitional Authority. But I don't understand why then people would want to set up a National Transitional Authority outside platforms that are meant to push the system out. You can't, because you ought to have a vision. And it is this vision that then you use to push out this illegal regime.
At the end of the process that you're doing of the NTA, is ZANU-PF still going to be existing as a party, or it's going to be abolished?
We cannot abolish ZANU-PF as a party. ZANU-PF can still continue to exist as a political party, but we must, at the moment, we must remove that system, because I believe that even the ZANU-PF ideology itself is something that was captured by few individuals who are now just making use of it to advance their own interests. People need a solution now. We need a solution like yesterday. The solution must not come after 7 years. Yes, I've always said this, that elections in 2023, it's a sheer waste of time. Let's not even waste our time going for those elections, because they are already rigged, they are already stolen. those who are clamoring for elections in 2023, they are only doing it just to save themselves. It's not for the people. And we are saying it is possible to push ZANU-PF before 2023. All what is needed is for us to be together. We started a process of petition signing. If people sign that petition is simply telling United Nations that Zimbabweans want to move on to another step, another stage of life. And another stage of life is minus ZANU-PF in power. And that petition is crucial. It's very, very, very important if Zimbabweans would know here is an important petition for every Zimbabwean. That petition which is being signed now, some people ignore it, but this is a very, very important petition because we are going to have a ceremony where we are going to be launching this petition to United Nations, to European Union, African Union, to SADC, to UK government, to US government, South African government, Botswana government, those important governments that we think can be of essence to our situation. Zimbabweans are going to go with this petition on a particular day. We do it one day, but all important organs of the world, we present this petition and say, here is the voice of Zimbabweans. And this petition will be full with all the offenses of ZANU listed down and with all the signatures of Zimbabweans and say, here is 3 million, here is 4 million signatures of Zimbabweans who are saying enough is enough. We have suffered enough from ZANU-PF. We need something better. And we are taking further steps from here. This is the starting point. But some Zimbabweans choose to ignore that. Let us not waste time discussing things that are not practical. You discuss National Transitional Authority. How are you going to form it without removing ZANU? And then you say you can form a National Transitional Authority. How? Because if ZANU accepts a National Transitional Authority to be formed, it means ZANU. Do you ever think, Mr. Gambakwe, that ZANU can really reform themselves out of power just like that and fold their hands like this and say, now we are being pushed down, we are going, the National Transitional Authority, let it be. They will never accept that. So the starting point is to do what we can do as Zimbabwe, to take power from ZANU through means that are democratic or international laws that exist. People power movement or people power is one democratic way which is acknowledged and acceptable by the whole world. And it can only happen if all people of Zimbabwe come on one side. If we are all on one side, we isolate the criminals. The soldiers that people fear, the policemen that people fear, they are there, but they come from our own homes. Each and every household of Zimbabwe has got a policeman, he has got a soldier, he has got these soldiers we have, they come from our household. We talk to them and say, look, these are the problems, these are practical problems that you and us are facing. On the day that we are going to declare our independence, can you be on the side of the people? It is the duty of each and every person in your own homes to be talking to your brothers, sisters, neighbors, friends, and say, please, we want a change. We need something new. Here is the opportunity. This is what we should be talking about. Every Zimbabwean should be talking about this. And this is the only way that junior soldiers can come to the side of the people. They will refuse to take illegal orders from the junta. The junta are those generals who are eating, who are being paid dirty money by Mnangagwa and team. And this is what we should be talking about. Every Zimbabwean, every platform should be talking about this and educating our youngsters. But we are not doing that. We are busy fighting for positions Because if people start talking about National Transitional Authority, they want positions. They don't want the dirty work of pushing the system. So we are going nowhere. We are wasting time.
So what the churches are afraid of is that during that process of removing ZANU-PF, there will be a bloodbath. What's your take on that?
We already have bloodbath going on right now. People are dying right now as we speak. We must stop the bloodbath that is going on. We must come up with processes that will stop the bloodbath that is going on now. People of Zimbabwe are dying of hunger. They are being abducted. They are being tortured. They are going to captured courts. Everything is captured. So what is good here? There is nothing good whatsoever. We are saying as long as all Zimbabweans come on one side, there will never be any bloodbath. That's why I am saying it is the duty of every Zimbabwean to educate their brother, their sister, because the junta simply uses the young boys and girls who they are just given orders. But if we educate them at home, that time for you not to accept an order will come. You will see it. And this will happen throughout Zimbabwe. Nobody is gonna, attack you. No one. Assure them, give them all the assurances. If we all play our parties as Zimbabweans who want change, no bloodbath whatsoever will happen. And not only that, we are already in the process of setting up the National Transitional Authority now. We are doing it. We are in the process. I mean, we cannot wait until we push ZANU to then form a National Transitional Authority. No, because if we do that, there will be a power vacuum. There will be a vacuum of governance. But it is going to be systematic. The pushing of ZANU and the establishment of National Transitional Authority and the leadership already at the moment, there are systems that are in place, that are forming, that are identifying the right people to be. So anyone who would want to be in the National Transitional Authority must accept to be in the dirty work that we are doing. It's not dirty, but let's call it dirty because you are going to talk to your brother, you are going to talk to your sister, you are going to talk to your child who is in the army, in the police, you are going to talk to your neighbors and say, let us all be on one side and we need everybody to be doing this. If everybody can do this, then we are home and dry, no problem. And we can set up our National Transitional Authority, which cuts across the whole nation. I am afraid that there are people who are waiting for other people to do dirty work. And then they just jump in and say, now we want to be part of National Transitional Authority. And yet we are calling upon everyone now to be part of the struggle. The struggle is not for one man, it's for everybody. We will come to a point when people will say, no, those who have made up a National Transitional Authority, they are saying Chinu Chedu. There is nothing like Chinu Chedu, nothing. Because Zimbabwe People Power Movement is for everybody. We are calling upon everyone to come and be part of Zimbabwe People Power Movement. Before we take next steps, because the next steps, whatever steps we are taking, they are all dependent upon the unity that we form. People are delaying independence. People are delaying freedom because they are dragging feet. They want to say, they want to know how. So after pushing ZANU, who is going to be the leader and blah, 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 because they only want positions. They don't want the vision. They don't want the ideas. Some people are busy fighting for personalities, for certain individuals, and yet Zimbabweans are the same. Any Zimbabwean, anyone in Zimbabwe can become leader of Zimbabwe. All you need is support of everybody, of all the people of Zimbabwe. As long as they are supporting you, as long as they are giving you the authority, you can run and go. No problem. All we need is somebody who listens, somebody with a heart that likes people, somebody who fears God, somebody who respects people. somebody who is able to unite people. That's what we need. So anyone can do that. There are lots and lots of people who can do that. People have got very sweet voices. People have got very nice manifestos and what have you. But those nice manifestos and everything cannot work as long as we don't push the elephant in the room. So the way to push the elephant in the room is what we are building as Zimbabwe People Power Movement. So this must be very clear. The churches, they must come and join. Churches, they must be part of Zimbabwe People Power Movement. And we should be talking about, so how, you know, what should we do? People playing different roles at different positions. Let us not play roles on forming National Transitional Authority without playing roles on pushing the elephant which is in the room.
You say you are already forming a National Transitional Authority. What if other people reject the kind of National Transitional Authority that you want to form, and they say you do not consult? What happens then?
Yes, thank you very much. This is why I am here. I'm on a public platform where I am saying this to the whole nation. Anyone who wishes to be part of the National Transitional System, who believes in the vision that we have, join the Zimbabwe People Power Movement. There is no way everyone in Zimbabwe People Power Movement can be part of NTA. Obviously, the NTA will be selected few. The NTA shall be in two parts. The first one, it shall be a very small government of politicians, very few, not more than 10. And then there will be a council of technocrats, purely technocrats. And these technocrats are going to run government. There will be, you know, committees, different committees that are going to run government professionally and reporting, of course, to the small clique of politicians. And the politicians will be talking to the public and like that. But it will be professionally run. And this is going to happen. We are going to have a very small government, and then, committees of technocrats. And these committees of technocrats shall be Zimbabweans who are in Zimbabwe today, and those who are in diaspora, as well as foreigners who are going to come and help us from different nations. They will come to just second us. We will take expatriates, technocrats with experience of other governments. For example, how do we run our police force? How do we run? We have a committee that is going to be dealing with that. How do we run our courts we don't want anyone, we don't want interference in our courts, our judges, and whatever. You must run professionally. How do we do it? How do we achieve it? We go to transport, we go to energy, we go to farming, we go to public service. We want the right thing, the best way forward. And that is how the National Transitional System shall be set up like. So we don't want a lot of politicking in government. Politics in government, especially in Africa, politics is the one that is destroying government. And so people should not be afraid. People will enjoy. People will see a different Zimbabwe. And I can assure you that Zimbabwe is going to be somewhere. And I can assure the nation this.
Okay, so this is something that is going to happen this year.
Yes.
Okay, because obviously if it happens this year, the issue of suspending elections does not come up.
Yeah, the issue of suspending elections, to me, it's not practical. Well, let them think about that, let them say that, but we are pushing forward. We want Zimbabweans to be free like yesterday. We want people to gain their freedom like yesterday. It pains me to know that the people of Zimbabwe are suffering the degree of suffrage that they have today. Some people today, as we speak right now, they don't have anything on the table. They are suffering. This is not fair. In a country with all these resources, natural resources, and what have you. But some people are just taking that and putting that in their pockets.
Okay, but there's always the danger that you are going to meet very stiff resistance to your plans.
Of course, I mean, that's why we say our plans are not violent plans. They are always, non-violent means. That's why there is no terrorist or coup plotter who approaches United Nations. Nothing like that. We have approached the United Nations. We have approached different governments to be part of Zimbabwe People Power Movement. So Zimbabwe People Power Movement is not just operating in isolation. It's operating within, at the level of, at international level. That's where we are at the moment. And because of that, we are going to sail through. Whether they want, this is not a secret. We are not doing, these are not secret plans. People should back Zimbabwe People Power Movement. ZPPM has got the solution, and we have got the solution. I know there are lots of efforts here and there. Some are saying, yeah, we are going to do a revolution and whatever and whatever. Well, it's okay. They can do that. But, I mean, we are not going to do a fight. We are not going to fight because we don't want anyone to be killed. Whose child is going to be killed? Who wants to see his child, his relative killed? No, we don't want any violence. We don't want coup. No, we don't want a coup. We don't want violence, but we are going to do it peacefully and using legal instruments that are in place, which we know. We are going to use tactics, and ZANU is going to go whether they want or not. We will not give them an option. They will go. They will. And this year.
Okay, Mr. Albert Matapo, if I hear you clearly, you are saying within the next 6 months, you will be able to have a national transitional authority which comprises of a small government and a council of technocrats in Zimbabwe. Is there anything else you want to say before we close?
Yeah, I just want to say that the people of Zimbabwe, here's an opportunity for you to be free. Free yourselves, and the way to free yourselves is this, that you must join Zimbabwe People Power Movement. Zimbabwe People Power Movement is your route to freedom. Do not follow lies from different quarters. Some politicians are taking advantage of you so that they can enrich themselves. They can put money in their pockets, and that can only stop if you open up your eyes and work with those who really want to free you. We want you to be free as soon as possible. So let us unite and do it. And thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Matapo. And I think everyone has clearly heard you. The number is on the screen. If someone wants to contact you, they can contact you using that number on WhatsApp. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.